What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem heroes, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys a banner review of this Mythic Hero banner that we're getting tomorrow, and it features Sothis as the Mythic Hero. So everyone saw this coming with the release of 3 houses and with the 3 house banner that we got, so it was pretty obvious. She's a dark Mythic Hero and she gives the resistance boost in the dark season. I was really hoping that she would be a light Mythic Hero because the sequence of Mythic Heroes that we got were light first, then we got Anima and Duma, then we got Yune, and at last we got Astra and Naga. So I was hoping it would be light, but it's dark. So she's a defensive Mythic Hero, useful for reducing lift loss in Ether Raids. And this is pretty good for the people who don't want to invest all of their resources into their Ether Raids defense teams. And with the new defense rewards that we have got, having a defensive Mythic Hero can definitely help you with that. Now, before I begin, I just want to make an announcement at the beginning so that I can have a lot of you guys actually listen to this. So we're going to be having the Mythic Hero battle tomorrow, and tomorrow is also my birthday. I'm going to be turning 22, and I'm not going to be able to jump on the Abyssal map like I usually do. If you see my Twitter, I start the moment the map drops. I will not be able to do that, unfortunately. Probably going to be doing the map like a few days after, or maybe when it gets rerun, something like that. I do have the 3 houses videos mass recorded and scheduled for tomorrow, so you're still going to be getting content. But the thing is, if this map actually came out today, that would have been completely fine with me. But I'm going to be going out with my friends, going to be enjoying a lot. Last year, I wasn't really able to do it to the degree I wanted because Legendary Lucina's map was also on my birthday, and I also had some college stuff, so I wasn't really all that mentally free to really enjoy it. But this year it's different. I'm done with my engineering, so I'm mentally free in that regard, and I'm gonna be enjoying. So I just want to make that announcement because I haven't really skipped any kind of Abyssal map or any kind of Infernal map for Legendary or Mythic Hero battles, so this is kind of going to be an exception. So just wanted you guys to know that beforehand. I think I might be able to make a summoning video tomorrow because it doesn't really take as much time as figuring out an Abyssal solution. Mythic and Legendary Hero battle videos in general take a lot of hours to make, and summoning videos are easy to make compared to those and don't really take as much time. So I'll see what I can do. And if you see someone saying that if I have uploaded the Abyssal map or not, you could, I guess, direct them to this video. So yeah, let's begin with the review. She is a infantry red dragon. That's pretty good because we don't really have a lot of those. She's not a flying dragon, and I was honestly expecting her to be colorless. So she is Goddess of Time, I guess. I mean, that's not really spoilery because we knew that before 3 houses even came out. So she has got Sublime Surge as her legendary weapon. This neutralizes effective against dragon bonuses. So she is the second dragon after Garen who has got this kind of effect where she is immune to dragon effective weapons. This is pretty good, but because she's a dark Mythic Hero, she's gonna be coinciding with the light season, and in the Astra season, people used Naga. So if she was Anima Mythic Hero, then this would be a bit better, I guess, and it would definitely make her a much better Mythic Hero than Duma, obviously, because she's able to fend off against Naga, even though she would be at weapon strangle disadvantage. And she also has inbuilt distant counter in her breath, so that's pretty good. Has got adaptive damage, and I think this is gonna be an exclusive special because none of the other skills look like exclusive skills to her, so I'm pretty sure this special is gonna be exclusive. It boosts damage by 30% of unit speed, restores HP 30% of the damage dealt. So this is pretty good special, scaling off on her speed, and I think she's gonna be extremely fast. So that's definitely good, but the thing is that it doesn't work all that well with Wrath because for like Wrath to work, you need to be under 75% health, and then she's gonna be recovering more HP. I mean, it can work out, but it's kind of counterproductive for my taste. And she's got attack speed solo. As I said, she's gonna be fast. She's got Wrath, which goes well with a 2-turn cooldown special, but not that well with the healing, I guess. I know many people run Ether and Wrath, but like you're gonna be recovering HP very fast with a 2-turn cooldown special. And finally, we have got a new skill called Time's Pulse. So this is probably not exclusive skill because this is a tier 3 skill. And at start of turn, if special cooldown count is at its maximum value, then it grants you -1 special cooldown. So this is a pretty self-sufficient skill. I'm not really too sure if this is going to be stacking up with Infantry Pulse or Quicken Pulse or stuff like that, because that reduces your special cooldown. So I'm not sure if this is going to be triggering before those or after those. If it triggers after those, then it doesn't really make it all that impressive of a skill. But if it actually stacks with those, then yeah, this is a fantastic skill. So in my mind, I think this is pretty good for Gale Force unit, because it makes your Gale Force a 4-turn cooldown special, and you can actually not waste your Sacred Seal. Previously, you would have to run Quicken Pulse Sacred Seal, so you could just have Time Pulse in your slot C and have Heavy Blade as your Sacred Seal slot. So someone like Tibarn or any kind of Cavalier, I guess, can have Gale Force at 4-turn cooldown, so they can trigger Gale Force off of a ranged unit. So that's pretty good, I would say. Definitely pretty helpful in self-sufficiency, but still we would have to see if this skill is restricted to infantry units or it's available to everyone. So that's definitely going to be interesting. So I think this is alright skill. It's not really all that broken, I would say. It gives you self-sufficiency, and I don't think this is going to stack with Infantry Pulse, Quicken Pulse, stuff like that, because it says that if your special cooldown is at maximum value. So I assume like this takes the priority, it checks it before that, so then it doesn't really like stack up with those. It's pretty good for offense, obviously, but for something like Ether Raid's defense, I don't really think this is gonna be stacking up with stuff like Infantry Pulse. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on this. I'm just speculating based on the wording of the skill. So that's Sothis and her skill set. Definitely appears to be a very fast unit, and here she's gonna transform. Now here, my heartbeat actually stopped. I thought I'm gonna get spoiled, because I'm not really all that far in 3 houses. I thought she's gonna transform into dragon, but she transforms into herself. So maybe she was hungry and she was not being herself. So maybe this weapon is just a glorified Snickers bar. So she's gonna transform into herself. She's gonna have this animation which looks absolutely stunning. Its sound effect is also so good. So here she's going to be triggering her special. She is in the Wrath range, keep that in mind. And she's able to do 70 damage. Now, if you subtract everything, the damage she's doing and also the Wrath damage, then you end up at 13 damage, which she got from her special. So to do that much special damage on a speed scaling special, she must have somewhere around 44 to 46 speed, I'm assuming. And I'm also assuming that her attack speed solo is actually active. So if my speculation is right, I think she's going to be ending up at 39 or 40 speed, like base speed. And I think she's going to be having good attack at base 35. So I think Sothis is going to be a really fast dragon. And I think she's going to be having 173 BST, similar to Na. I mean, I don't really see a reason why she would not. So that's why I'm expecting her to have that much BST, based on the past experiences. So I think she might be better than Yune as a defensive mythic hero, because Yune is pretty slow. It's really easy to double Yune. And the thing is that in the light season, people are going to be getting the resistance buff with air, and Yune only hits on the resistance. Sothis can actually hit on the defensive because of the adaptive damage. And Sothis is pretty fast as well, so it's not going to be easy to double her, I think. From what I've seen, she's not going to be very, very bulky, but like being fast is pretty good. She's going to be able to now get doubled, so that's going to be better as a defensive mythic hero. Sothis can somewhat be annoying, I guess, with her self-healing, but I don't really think she's going to be healing all that much of HP. So she appears to be a pretty good unit and pretty good defensive mythic hero. It's a shame that she would not be able to be blessed by a light blessing, because she could be a good offensive AR unit, because she has a weapon that nullifies the effective dragon effect. She has got inbuilt distant counter, so you would just have to run something like Steady Breath or maybe bonus doubler to make her work, but she cannot get blessed, so that's unfortunately a downfall. And a lot of people are going to be saying that Garen's niche is gone, but like Garen can still get blessed by the Light Blessing and Astra Blessings, but Sothis cannot be blessed, so she's not going to be useful in Ether Raid's offense like Garen could if you have him at +10 merged. And like intelligence systems are trying to push defensive mythic heroes as time goes on, because they have been nerfing these maps in past few updates, but it seems like the general motivation is to have more defensive mythic heroes, especially with the defensive rewards as well. Obviously, you could build up a really good Ether Raid's defense team, have a pretty good success rate, but you will have to definitely invest quite a lot of resources into that. And defensive mythic heroes is pretty good for the people who just wanna have a defense team and not like put in all of the resources into it. So that's Sothis, our new defensive mythic hero, who gives resistance boost. And resistance boost on your Ether Raid's defense team would mean that you will be able to use sabotage skills, ploy skills much better. Especially like sabotage skill, I could see some high tier Ether Raid's teams using that. And now let's move on to the other heroes that we have on this banner. This banner is actually pretty good. So the first unit we have is Fjorm. Fjorm is a pretty good unit to be used in Ether Raids and for like in general any kind of content in the game. You guys have seen her being used in my free-to-play guides. She's unfortunately not in the Ascatria rotation anymore for Arena, which is definitely a shame. But she is pretty good in Ether Raids, in the light season especially, because her resistance is top-notch. And if you combine her with 2 airs in the light and the water season when it's going on, then she can be a really good super tank. And Shield Pulse and Ice Mirror definitely help with that as well. It's overall a pretty good unit, I would say. It doesn't have much for skill inheritance. Attack Defense Bond is present on Rutger. Shield Pulse is a rather niche skill, so it doesn't really have a lot of value as a fodder, unfortunately. And the next one is Legendary Lyn, who's definitely not going to be having very good time. So Legendary Lyn is definitely one of the worst, or if not the worst, legendary heroes we have in the game, and a lot of people believe that, but she definitely has a niche, I guess, as a super tank in the light season when the wind and the light season are coinciding, because she does have workable resistance and could definitely act as an enemy phase unit in that regard. But other than that, she doesn't really have a lot of things going on for her, especially when you compare her to other superior archers like Legendary Alm, who are absolutely insane. So yeah, that's Legendary Lyn. She has got Speed Tactic. We still do not have that skill apparently easily available, which just like shocks me at this point. I don't know why they wouldn't give this to us. So she's definitely not the best hero that you could have in the green pool, and a lot of people actually despise the green pool in these legendary and mythic banners whenever Legendary Lyn is one of them, because they fear that she will pity break them and she doesn't have a lot of value as an offensive unit or as a fodder, and isn't really the best offensively when compared to other archers like Legendary Alm and even another colored bow user like Legendary Lucina. She doesn't really pack that much of a punch, so that's Legendary Lyn. And then we've got Legendary Hector, who's one of the best green armor units in the game. Thunder Armats and Vengeful Fighter gives him an Omnibreaker kind of effect. And Osteus Pulse is also very useful in Ether Raid's defense or for in general any kind of mixed team. In Ether Raids, Osteus Pulse is basically going to be acting as an infantry pulse for your mixed defense team. And he's got very high attack and pretty good defense. And being a fire legendary hero and being an armor unit, he's really good to merge. In the fire seasons, he's going to be helping you a lot in arena and whenever he's a bonus unit. So definitely a very good unit. And as fodder, he has got distant counter, which is of course a premium skill. So definitely the highlight of the green pool is going to be Legendary Hector. And the next unit that we have got is going to be Legendary Marth. Legendary Marth is also a very powerful sword infantry unit. We have a lot of those, but Legendary Marth definitely stands out. Exalted Fortune has got bonus doubler built into it. He's got Binding Shield, which makes him a really good arena assault unit. Definitely pretty helpful against the teams which have got like all full dragons. Fire Emblem, his special, also scales off on his speed, similar to Sothis' special. And it's a 2-turn cooldown special. It's pretty good. And overall, Marth is a very good and one of the better sword infantry units that we have got. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot for skill inheritance. Infantry Slash is a pretty niche skill, I would say. And Attack Speed Bond isn't really all that good for fodder because we already have Bridal Louise, which you could get from the Grail shop if you want to get that skill. We've got Air next, and Air is a fantastic mythic hero. I would say she is the best mythic hero, and a lot of people do agree with that. All of the other mythic heroes don't really stand up to her, like her utility, the usefulness, the mobility, and everything. Like, Air is fantastic in it. If you are not in tier 21 in Ether Raids, then getting double Air is definitely going to be helping you a lot with your journey. It's definitely possible to reach tier 21 in AR with just one Air, the free Air which you get. I know because I've done that with 2 of my accounts. And double Air is definitely needed for getting the rank rewards, and if you get multiple copies of her, you could definitely merge her. And even triple Air with any kind of super tank can be useful because she's going to be giving the sparkling boost healing, she gives the resistance. Overall a very powerful unit and definitely makes super tanks in the light season because of the resistance boost. And her mobility is definitely amazing. Lithia Burke is a very good weapon. As fodder, she's got Mystic Boost, which is definitely useful to some of the range units, and even as a self-sufficiency tool for healing. Mystic boost is definitely good with that. So extremely good unit and the best mythic hero that we have. Speaking of being extremely good, we have got legendary Azura here. She's got blue dual flying, which is good for fodder. For your arena core, I guess. Aerobatics is also pretty good. And she's pretty much the best dancer in the game. Because of Prayer Wheel, you're able to give an ally +6 or even +7 to all of their stats depending on which skill you're running. Not to mention Grey Waves gives +1 movement to infantry and flying units when they're sung by Azura, and everyone knows how strong legendary Azura is. She's definitely a nuisance to face in Ether Raids, but a blessing to have if you're using her yourself. So it's definitely recommended to get her if you don't already have her. She's going to be making a lot of content easier for you, like in-game content in general. Ether Raids is also a part where she's really useful as a defense unit. And as an offense unit, if the water season is coinciding with light or the Astra season, I mean, that's one of the flaws with legendary Azura. You cannot use her all the time in Ether Raids offense because you cannot bless her, but that's pretty much it. She's a insane support unit. And then we have got Hostile Springs Ryoma. So the problem with Ryoma is that he has got too much competition being a lance flyer. He doesn't have a preferred weapon. He's basically slightly better Cordelia with 35-36 offensive stat spread, and that's pretty much it. He does have good skills for fodder like attack, defense, solo, and shield speed, definitely. And his weapon has got a lot of value for fodder because it can be used with Gale Force units and also stack that up with something like Quicken Pulse, so it's definitely effective in that regard. But other than that, Ryoma doesn't really bring much to the table as a unit, unfortunately, and faces a lot of competition. Speaking of facing a lot of competition, we have another unit victim to that. Even though he has got amazing defense and amazing attack, he still faces a lot of competition from green armors like Surtur, Brave Ephraim, and also legendary Hector, who's also on this banner sharing color with him. Greil also doesn't have a preferred weapon like all of those other green armor units, which I just stated, so definitely faces a lot of competition. But nonetheless, his stat spread is pretty min-maxed, and he also has access to all of the fighter skills and all of the armor exclusive skills, so he can still be pretty good. It's just that he faces a lot of competition. Fury 4 isn't really the best tier 4 skill, but it can be useful on certain units and on certain builds where you need that self-damage to fall into the range of Vantage or Desperation, so definitely helps with that. Armor March is also something you could fodder him off for, and also his axe, because it's pretty good on armor units. They do stay close together and it goes well with bond skills. And then we have got the actual star of this banner. A lot of people have been waiting for him, and I know they are just going to be summoning on this banner for him. So it's Mufasa. I cannot say his actual name because YouTube will actually nuke me. So Lion King Fang is an absurd weapon, giving him +4 to all of his stats in the enemy phase. And it also gives him distant counter when he's transformed. The transformation is easy as it is. You just do not need to have any kind of human adjacent to him, and he will transform. So that's simple enough. And he has got insane super tanking potential in Ether Raids. A lot of people do use him as such. He overall has got really good stat line, quite min-maxed. Distant Defense 4 is a really good skill on him. He is able to get +8 defense and resistance in the enemy phase, and also neutralizes foes' bonuses, so that's really effective against Blade Tome units and units who get buffed up by legendary Azura on Ether Raids defense teams. He's a colorless unit, so he doesn't really have any kind of weakness in terms of weapon strangle disadvantage, which is why it makes him such a good super tank to be used in Ether Raids, or for like any kind of general content. He's an amazing tank. So definitely the star of this banner, has got really good fodder in terms of Distant Defense 4, obviously. And then we have got Legendary Alm. So the colorless is stacked. Legendary Alm is one of the best offensive units in the game because he cuts through tanks like a knife cuts through butter. With Lunar Arc and Lunar Flash, which is just a 2-turn cooldown special, he's able to pulverize those kinds of tanks. And it's not really all that hard to have an Infantry Pulse team and have Lunar Flash ready at the start. And even outside of Ether Raids, for Allegiance battles, he's extremely useful, and for any kind of in-game content, he's amazing. He has got 37 offensive spread, definitely makes him the most powerful infantry archer in the game, and one of the best archers in the game in general. Extremely powerful unit. For fodder, I've given him 4 out of 5 because Darting Blow 4 isn't really all that good of a tier 4 skill, I would say, and Null Follow-Up is definitely pretty good for fodder and also Auto Attack Wave. And as I stated before, really good for Ether Raids offense, for Ether Raids defense, for any kind of content. Very strong offensive unit. The final unit we have on this banner is male Byleth, so a lot of you guys will have him for free if you purchase 3 houses, and you can actually get him for free until June 2020 if you buy 3 houses within that time span, so you've got a lot of time to do that. But if you want to get merges on him, then of course you would want to summon for him, or if you want to have Ruptured Sky as special, or even Distant Counter, so he definitely has value as a fodder. And as a unit, he is really good. He has got good offensive stat spread. And Creator's Sword is especially very good for something like Arena Assault, where he basically slaps the foe on the wrist and tells them to play by the 2017 rules before we had any kind of fighter skills and all of these insane skills which we have now. And the only problem with him is that he has got a lot of competition as an infantry sword unit, and the fact that he doesn't have high enough resistance to really make the most out of Distant Counter. 20 resistance with 40 HP isn't really all that much for Distant Counter, unfortunately. So if you want to use him as a Distant Counter unit, then you would definitely have to give him some support in the resistance department. So that is going to be the Mythic banner. The colorless and the red color are absolutely stacked. Blue unfortunately has a dud in Hot Springs Ryoma, and green has a dud in the form of Legendary Caineghis. So the colorless is absolutely insane if you care about ether raids. You've got Mufasa, who's amazing super tank. You've got Legendary Alm, who's amazing unit for both offense and defense. You've got Air, who gives you more lift. Getting merges on Air and getting more lift is definitely going to be beneficial. And red is also a pretty good color, having the mythic hero Sothis, of course, and Marth, who's a good infantry sword, and male Byleth, who has pretty good skills and also is a good as a unit. Blue has got Legendary Azura, which is definitely the highlight, and green has got Legendary Hector. So overall a pretty good banner, I would say, stacked and colorless, and red definitely colorless for sure. And before you summon on this banner, just keep in mind that we might get another 3 houses banner. So if you really like 3 houses units, then you might want to wait for that and not really summon. Not to mention Choose Your Legends 3 is going to be happening towards the end of August. So if you're looking forward to that banner, then you definitely want to save your orbs. But if you don't really care about that, and if you have some of your favorite units or some of the units which you are waiting for in this banner, then you could definitely summon like Mufasa. A lot of people are definitely going to be going for him. So that is going to be it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please be sure to leave a like. It will help me tremendously. And if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. And please be sure to hit the notification bell and click on all so that you can always get the updates to my videos whenever I upload. Because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Sothis' Dragon Transformation. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.